Welcome to Comics on a Pyre, a channel to have a meaningful conversation over movies, life, books, and shows, and maybe just a spot to spend time BSing over comics. If you like your entertainment with a bit of substance, then you, my vagabond friend, have come to the right tavern. Tether your horse by the post and come right on in and warm yourself by the fire. Tap that subscribe button, and for the next few minutes, my fellow George Carlin reprobate, lend me your ear.
Come with me if you want to live.
You are under arrest.
Oh, the 80s. You gave us so many fond memories. It was the decade that would experimented with the early stages of CGI and played heavily with the stop motion animation. Some good, but mostly sad to say, very bad. In some cases, in fact, embarrassingly bad. I personally found that these two techniques worked best when it wasn't so heavily depended upon, but used it sparingly, just to accentuate a scene, kind of like perfume. Just enough is delightful, but too much and it'll make you gag. But even though these techniques were both in the two following films, neither one is the reason why both have spawned a multiple of sequels, have video games, or have comic books named after them. No, it was because of the motif, ideas, and the execution of the main concept. That is the reason why they have such a cult following. And from time to time, we come back and rewatch these movies again and again, particularly the first two movies in each series. The rest, they have their degrees of likability. So, is it any wonder that these two franchises, when meshed together, made one banged up comic? Well, we have seen it with the Alien vs. Predator series, and I would say that they have met with a modest amount of success. So why not these two? Well, first off, right from the door, I can tell you that this four-issue miniseries is good. But what else do you expect from Frank Miller? I mean, this is the guy who brought us Sin City, 300, the four-issue miniseries on Wolverine, collaborating with Chris Claremont, and my personal favorite Daredevil run of the early 1980s. So I came into this reading with high expectations. Even though most movie to comic adaptations, in my opinion, have been at best mediocre. Well, I'm glad to say I got an interesting, yet at times complex read. First of all, scrap the Sarah and John Connor storyline. This post-apocalyptic storyline stars Florence Langer, who she states most call simply Flo. The last war between man and machine is at its climax, and Flo, sad to say, is the last person of the human race. And in this time of desperate measures, she has breached the center of the regional mind, the hub of the machine's mainframe, effectively entering their inner sanctuary, the very room where the time machine is kept. Her mission is to go back in time and kill Alex Murphy, aka Robocop, before he made his technological transformation from man to machine. Because it is Robocop that gives birth to Skynet's sentient self. And I don't mean the hardwired net when I say this. No, it was built already by the United States government. When Murphy's mind, aka software, interfaces with Skynet's mainframe, aka hardware, it sparks the flame that gives birth to the cybernetic sentient life, an actual ghost in the machine. And from there on, it's all downhill for mankind. What happens next is an intriguing series of events, as every time Flo completes her mission, and I would say in various ways, you would just have to read the story to find out just what I mean, the Terminators send back one of their own machines to overturn her actions. And thus, a game of one-ups occurs. each side jockeying for position of steering the course of time in their own favor. Some things that I liked about the story is that both Murphy and Flo are given time to breathe in this series, and you really get to see what drives them. Now, believe it or not, Flo succeeds in her missions a few times, but one particular time, after having to interact with Robocop over a certain period of time, she is forced to see Robocop for what he truly is, a human being trapped in a machine's body, and not just a mindless automaton robot. So, when this time having a chance to kill Robocop, she remembers her vow to never kill another human, no matter what the circumstances. In that decisive moment, she sees Robocop more human than machine, the ones that she was sworn to hate, defining her as a person with principles, no matter how dire the situation has become. Now, the character of Alex Murphy, I thought was simply great. Through the panels that he is alone, you get a glimpse into his inner monologue. He struggles with who he is, even well before Flo came along into his life, trying to reconcile with what he has become. Through flashbacks, he remembers his former life, the sensation of love, the feeling of fresh cut grass on his feet, and the taste of a cold ice cream on his tongue. Matter of fact, it is this reconciliation that allows him to accept that Flo is telling the truth about the human-robot war and that she is from the future, stating that both his new life and the story she is telling him would have seemed far-fetched years ago. But yet here he is, a cybernetic organism. Throughout the story arc, you get a lot of what-if scenarios, making you, the reader, really question your own humanity and what you would do in any given situation. But my favorite by far is the scene where Skynet offers Murphy a chance to be human again, at least in his mind. Very reminiscent of Cypher's betrayal with Agent Smith in The Matrix, or 2018's movie sci-fi masterpiece, Upgrade. If you have not seen this lesser known movie, then shame on you. You need to watch it right now. Anyway, this scene makes you ask yourself, would you, when facing a monumental challenge, take the easy way out? Would you give in to your carnal and sensual desires and live a lie rather than face the truth? You know what I mean. Would you swallow the red or the blue pill? Well, I've talked too much about this story arc already, giving you more than what you need to whet your appetite. If you are interested, then go out right now and buy yourself a copy of this story arc. I'm sure you won't regret it. Until then though, visit my comic book YouTube channel, Comics on the Pyre, for other videos like this one. While there, tap on the bell icon before you go, and oh yes, as always, until next time, keep reading, my friends.